Welcome back to the channel. Motions Biz here, and today I would like to redo a video that I published when I started with the Motions Biz channel. And that was about how I really started with Navy Federal from start to finish, from the day that I opened my account. For this video, I will share with you my road and journey to my first and ever Navy Federal's credit card, the cash rewards credit card that was for 25,000. And I will also share with you my exact data points when I got approved for the card and what my status was at that time when it comes to my personal banking relations with Navy Federal, how I got there, what accounts I used, and everything. So let me share that with you. If you are new to the channel and you just came across this video, you might want to subscribe for you to be able to participate in the discussions about hacks and tips and strategies and relevant information about Navy Federal. Because, again, like I said, this channel has a lot of great members who share their experiences as well. And you will notice that in the comments section of our videos, you can really get some relevant information that you can gather about Navy Federal. So I got started with Navy Federal being sponsored by my brother-in-law who was in the Air Force. And so that was what happened. He went to Navy Federal, called them up, and actually opened a joint account with me. So that was in July 17, 2021. So right when I became a member on July 17, there was no activity on my account except a $5 deposit. So basically, that was all I had on that account. And I never did initiate doing anything with it until I think the first or second week of August. So both my accounts with Navy Federal at that time was a joint account, a personal checking, and a personal savings account. So I had two accounts then. So it was not until 7 days later that I opened my very own personal checking and personal savings account, separate from the joint account with which I started. So by this time, I already had four accounts with Navy Federal, my own personal checking and savings account, and a joint savings and a joint checking account. So that's four. So on August 2nd, after that, I opened an Easy Certificates account and a Save First account for $50 each. So once I saw that the Save First account and the Easy Certificates account was already on my Navy Federal app, I did direct deposit. I finally set up my direct deposit right on the app. And what I did was a portion of my weekly pay or my bi-weekly pay, which I pay myself as a clinical administrator for my company, I had that on direct deposit on my Navy Federal checking account, on my personal checking account. And how I did my gardening with Navy Federal was that every week or every few days, I would make small deposits to the Save First and Easy Certificates account. And so besides doing that, I also had my direct deposit directly every 2 weeks. So that was clearly seen on my account that I was making regular deposits, I was making regular transfers. So how I tried to build up my Easy Certificates and my Save First account was just basically doing transfers from my checking account to the Save First and the Easy Certificates account, which you can do easily right on your app. And it's so easy to do that, just making small deposits every time and just keep that building. And while I was also having direct deposits on my personal checking from my company. With Navy Federal, remember that relationship building is really relevant and is really a must right when you become a member, and do not waste time doing that, because as time goes by, you are building that relationship, and it's so important that it can also see some activity in your account and that you are using their products as well. That does add to your credit profile with Navy Federal. You will see here that in my relationship building, I wasn't really using, or I wasn't having big amounts on my Navy Federal account. but just the consistency of that activity. And we already have a lot of community members who have followed this strategy and have shared that they were really able to get where they want to go with Navy Federal. Once I had those very simple accounts set up, that was what I did for the next 2.5 months, and just making deposits. My direct deposit continued. And on October, if I remember right, it was around the 11th or the 15th of October that I went for the pre qualification for the cash rewards credit card. I saw that I already had 3 billing statements, and it was already about 91 days, I would say, right after I opened my Navy Federal account. So I was quite confident that at this time I can apply for a credit card with Navy Federal. And it was also about around this time that there was a lot of talk on YouTube about the late night hack with Navy Federal. So I was going to try it for myself. And I know that many folks out there are not really keen on the late night hack, saying that, it's not true, it's not real. But for me, what have I got to lose, right? It's my first credit card with Navy Federal. I pre qualified for it, and it did pre-qualify me for all the credit cards. So I said I would take the leap and just see what happens. I did my pre-qualification. It was around 11:30 at night. So when I saw that I was pre-qualified for all the unsecured credit cards, I went on ahead and filled up the application around a little past 12:08 to be exact, because I really took note of this, because this was also like an experiment. And after all the gardening I did, the relationship building I did, and I just wanted to see what happened. So I did that, completed the application on my cell phone pretty much, and waited. And lo and behold, I got approved for $25,000 on the Cash Rewards credit card on my first try. So now I will share with you the rest of my data points for this Cash Rewards credit card for 25,000. And you can see here that my profile wasn't perfect really, but I just wanted to share that with you so you can use it as a reference. So here we go. So here you will see that I have 4 accounts with Navy Federal, 2 checking and 2 savings. Save First account and the Easy Certificates account. And I forgot to mention that I did do a pledge loan for $500. That was my first pledge loan ever with Navy Federal. And here is a snapshot of my Credit Karma report before applying. So you can see here my credit status at that time was not really perfect. Payment history is 100%. Credit card use is 22%. That's utilization. And interestingly enough, I actually have a DROG on my credit report at that time. This was a collection from Safeco, I think, the insurance company. And my credit age, for some reason, was only 1 year and 7 months. I wasn't really using a lot of credit card at that time. I had a total of 10 accounts on my credit report, and I had 4 hard inquiries at the same time. So you see, it's not a perfect personal credit profile when I did that, but I did do a lot of gardening with Navy Federal. Now, about my credit score, here you can see that this was from Credit Karma. So that means this is your Vantage score. And I have no idea what my FICO score was at that time, but I use Credit Karma just to kind of monitor my status at any given time. So anyway, here we go. My TransUnion was 743 and my Equifax was 748. So my Experian FICO score at that time was 705. And as some of you may know, Credit Karma only uses TransUnion and Equifax. And so I had to get my FICO score somewhere else. So pretty much, guys, that was my credit profile, personal credit profile scores when before I applied for the Cash Rewards credit card. So it's not perfect, as you can see, but I think it just really helps when you do some relationship building with Navy Federal. So again, it's Motions Biz here, and if you have had any experience with the $25,000 credit limit on your Cash Rewards credit card or your first credit card with Navy Federal. Hope that you can also share that here. So, anyway, have a great evening, have a great morning, have a great day.